Oh, that is gonna get on my last nerve. That counting numbers up there in the top, y'all. That's gonna make me scream. I hope y'all don't see it when the video's up. Look. So my computer is down. I have to send it to Dell because apparently my hard drive is messed up. Luckily, it's still under warranty. Long story, I don't know what the hell happened to it. So I got to send it back to them. So y'all, if the quality on this is shabby as hell, it's because I'm on the other computer or whatever. Anywho, so I'm in here about True Blood. And as y'all can see, I got my True Blood shades on. This is my bloody bunny. Y'all see my bunny? My bloody bunny. And my love sent it to me, no other than, well, I don't want to say Miss Kitty contacts or whatever. Y'all know the glasses that I wear with the bow on it. My favorites, the leopard with the pink or whatever. Anywho, I got some red ones now with a little red bow on it. But she was so gracious to send it to me. Her and her mother, they are one of our loves. So they watched the True Blood and all of that. And they thought about these and was like, these would be perfect for the True Blood reviews. And I do appreciate it. And I'm going to come back in and kind of officially show y'all some other glasses or whatever. But that's coming up. But I just want to say thank you and let y'all know, go over for my bloodies and all my True Blood lovers. Go over and get you a bloody bunny, baby. Because I am loving these. And she does have some other bunnies over there. But these are my bloody bunnies. So y'all, let's get into this shit. It was good tonight. I was enthralled or whatever. I have to say I was enthralled. They had me. You see, I'm kind of giddy or whatever. Okay, let's see where we want to start at, because y'all can't talk about every little single thing. This would be the longest damn video in the world. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to start there? No. Y'all, so much when I True Blood's my show, y'all just get silly and willy-nilly. Okay. Let's start with old dude and old girl in the bed. Let's just go ahead and start there. The ones at the authority or whatever, they there, and he's like looking through his little computer or whatever. He's like, look, I'm gonna need you to talk to her. We need to get something out of her, and maybe you'll be the one to do it. Talking to old girl who was on her fuckery last week, screwing everybody on the scene, And she's like, oh, well, I just don't want to. And she didn't want to do it, but yes, she didn't have no problem saying torture her some more. Are you kidding me? Y'all, I believe we're going to find out that she got something to do with this shit. I don't know. It's either her, the black dude, and possibly that older woman with the curly hair, because she was too eager for Bill them to die. Like, she had some shit to hide. Anywho. So she's like, no, I want you to talk to her. Then they go to this scene where they in there. And this is on down the road because the shit that happened in between. But like I said, I'm only going to talk about what was pertinent to me. So they in there and she's like, my blood. And I don't want you to die. I can't watch you die because somebody else, da-da-da-da-da. So old girl gives up teas. She gives up some teas. I don't think she gave it all, but she gave up some. Which let them know that, yes, there is a rat in there. In the process of that, y'all already know what happened later on. He kind of was like, well, I'm going to have to check everybody's motherfucking grill because something ain't right here. It's still a snake in here. Keep your grass cut because it just might be a snake in it. Anywho. Okay. So now off of that, because there was so much that went on, y'all. Let's see. What about, let's go to Eric and Pam. Well, first of all, Bill and them was in the car. They got dropped off or whatever. Still got the shit on them. And, chirping the cars over there. They trying to think about the list of people who may have let Russell Eddington out. Now, y'all, did I miss some shit? And I feel like they might have gave up tease a little bit on who let him out. But then I feel like I missed it. Or maybe they didn't. Or they leading up to it or whatever. I don't know. Y'all, wouldn't it be fucked up if we found out Bill did it? No, I'm serious. I mean, just in all actuality, to get Eric. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, so they get in the car and they go looking or whatever. In the midst of that, and before we go, go any further with them, I gotta talk about the fact that Tara's ass is in the damn just ultravioleting herself. Now, girl, I know you didn't want this for you, but honey, baby, you did not need to be sitting in there looking like Russell Eddington. So Miss Pam, she jots over after she's like, that bitch. Now, I can't believe she did that. And so I guess Tara thought she was really going to let her alone and be like, well, girl, go on do it, honey. I'm over with. But that's not how it goes. And I think the reason why they showing, which I know now why they showed how, Pam and Eric got together. And y'all was so sad. Y'all was tore up when he had to let her go. And she was like, well, just let me go. And he had to let her go, y'all. It was such a touching moment. I was like, like I was really like, oh my God. Oh Lord, don't do it, Jesus. Anywho. So she's like, look, I order you to never do it. Tara's like, fuck you, bitch. And then she realizes that she can't do it, that she's being ordered to do whatever. Now, I don't know what they did to dust her off and get her back together, because the bitch looked worse than she did when she had a motherfucking wig split. I mean, girl, there's no moisturizer for that, boo-boo. I'm going to need you to stay out of that. You need some SPF 6000. Now, come on now. So, Pam, she's beginning to, she don't like the fact that she got Tara, but somewhere in her, because of what went on between her and Eric, she knows that she got to do the right thing. And in the midst of that, Eric found out when he came back and she came back to the place, brought her in after they done been and she done cooked her skin and everything. She's unlocking the shit like, why the fuck is this closed? We supposed to be making some money or whatever. Eric sitting in there and all of his Eric trash. Like, y'all know y'all know how he do. Anywho, y'all, I just can't help it. I'm just a little giddy. Anywho. So he's looking at Bill's right there sitting. Eric's like, why is she here? Or somebody said, why is she here? And she's like, well, I made her. When Pam came in, she was kind of like, oh, God, whatever we was arguing about. Let bygones be bygones, honey. Let's get downstairs to that basement. You tie my arms up and let's do that invisible screwing that we do. She's like, yeah, Pam, chicken wow, honey. What's going on? So, I got gloss up her. Anywho. So, Eric is kind of leaning and looking and like, Bill, take care of Tara. Because Bill already knows that it's only so many. Now, they done said just 4 people. So, Eric is thinking, well, okay. Now, Pam might be thinking like I was thinking. Now, Pam was kind of upset and mad when, he was frolicking with Sookie and her Sookatry. So, he's getting her together downstairs. Bill got Tara and gave her something to wear. And, Bill's got this soft side or whatever, and he's talking about this, and I felt that way. And she's like, and this whole thing of commanded not to do, and this and that and other. They kind of talking. Meanwhile, back at the Fang Banging Ranch, Eric is upstairs just running Miss Pam across the, bar. And he realizes that Pam would not do that. And she went on to say, and all this time I have never, it's always been us, and I don't believe she did, but it would shock the shit out of me if I found out on down the road that this bitch had something to do with it, because she was really like, I love, like in her vampire way, like vampire love, I wouldn't do it to you. Anywho, in the midst of that, he stops and she's like, why don't you just release me if you feel like I would ever, and you would take Bill Compton over me and blah, blah, blah. And he's like looking, and I'm thinking he's going to release her right then. But then they go to another scene. Okay, what was the next scene? I forget what the next scene was because I don't really think it was that relevant. Y'all know I'm going to bounce all over. Now, just for a minute, I'm going to need to talk about Lafayette for a minute because we already know that Miss Demon popped up in his ass, or either it's Jesus. I don't know what it is, but he leans across Sookie's shit, after him and Sookie that got in, and he's like, Sookie, bitch, you the motherfucking Grand Reaper, bitch. Everybody fuck with you. They just died, blah, 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 this and that and other. And Sookie's all, her whole Sookie just sad ass shit, which is kind of the truth, honey, Sookie. Baby, death just follows your ass, and everybody ain't got that light in their hand and shit. I mean, now, boo-boo. Okay, so Lafayette starts saying stuff, and the little two-tongued demon and the yellow and red face, and comes out and he's raising the car and this and that and other. And who knew Lala had that kind of power? Yes, I knew he was one of them Rookaboo, whatever. And but I didn't think it was to that extreme. So apparently this thing is about to take Lafayette over, which that's what I think is gonna happen. Now, if y'all think something different, drop that shit below. Please drop that below. So it goes off of that. Now let's go inside the club. Wait a minute, what is Merlotte's? Where Sookie works, and she's kind of, everybody's thinking shit like, bitch, you turned on terror and this and that and other. Everybody's feeling some kind of way. This bitch can't deal with, she can hear everybody's thoughts, this and that and other. She can't deal with it. She kind of sits down or whatever. Okay, now off of that. Now let's go to the wolf. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. Anywho, so Joe, he knows the truth from last week that Sookie had to split old girl's wig, but she was trying to kill her. She done shot Tara. What the hell? This bitch was out of pocket. She's a bad wolfie. Now, I'm not going to have her wolfetry going on, and quite frankly, I'm glad the hoe's gone. Okay, so he knows the truth, this and that and other. He decides he's going to go and tell the parents. And he's like, so-and-so, this happened. And I'm thinking he's going to give Sookie up because he was mad as hell at Sookie. But we all know, I don't know why you want a piece of Sookie. I mean, look at the other shit that happened. Really? You want a piece of Sookie? Me and you going to talk about that. Anywho. So, as they, he goes and sits down and talks to the daddy and the mama, and he says, well, she's dead, and so did it. So he put it on the wolf that was killed, trying to protect Sookie. So the daddy gets up, and I guess he's the oldest wolf in the world. So it's like he's going to try to clean Joe, but then the mama kind of takes up for Joe in a way, but I don't know, something about you was at our table or something. I don't know, eating some kibble. I don't know what was going on. You know what wolves do when they be at the table, eat it. Okay, so that scene happened. He goes out of there. He done saved Sookie's ass. In the midst of that, Sookie done carried her happy ass over to Jason, where he's having a fucking romp with Jessica, I believe. Now, he talked that friend shit, Jessica, yeah, you and Jessica was doing something. I know you was. Anywho, so she comes in and said, lock me up. I'm the one that killed so-and-so. He's like, don't say that to me. Just go out of here. We ain't gonna have a conversation. She's thinking at this time, well, Joe's going tomorrow to tell the parents and they're gonna get me anyway, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Jessica comes around. Sookie looks like, oh, Lord, because she know a fucking slutty vampire scene when she sees it. So she's just like, well, whatever, Jason, honey. If you want to screw the vampire, go on, baby. Because I done screwed every vampire and soothsayer and every motherfucking thing else in Bone Tongue and bitch, you're trying to screw wolves. I don't know. Slow your ass down, offer him drinks and things. I see you, bitch. Anywho, so in the midst of that, they have that whole scene and then they leave. Then let's just skip over to Andy. He's at the shit. He's talking, telling old girl, well, you ain't got to look on Facebook to see me. Maybe we hook up. He trying to get him a booty call or hook up or whatever. Old dude walks in and he's telling him about this club or whatever he been going to, which ties into the shit that happened last week, which my bloodies who said that was a true elf or what are they? I done said elf, y'all. What? Not elves. Yeah, I'm confused. No. Fairies was right. That's why he smells so much better than Sookie. Okay, anywho, turns out he been going frolicking in the damn woods in some empty ass spot where they got the shit hid at, and it's a whole motherfucking fairy club, and they in there like fairy Moulin Rouge, bitches sliding down sleeves and coming down scarves and shit, and just all kind of fuckery going on in fairy hood land. And they take them in there and they kind of, into their wiles and, Now, let's scoot off of that because we're going to go back to that in a minute. Okay, now let's go to not Andy Balfour, the other one, the cook, the one that's with the guy who he was in the service with, and they finally showed the scene of some folks being killed or whatever, but I still can't figure out where they going with that. Are they saying it's a demon, a monster or something? Because apparently a bunch of people, which was wrong as hell, got killed while they was over there, innocent people complaining about this one young man that's killed. Then somebody starts shooting up in the corner some damn where, and it all goes awry, and he's standing there like, no. In the midst of that, he wakes up out of his dream, and he's sitting in the car with old dude because they going trying to find whoever they think is causing these fires. Anywho, so they get there, and they go to all the little properties and this and that and other, and they found a little, rug spot, get in there, go down in that shit. And apparently whoever this guy is they looking for got some real fuckery on his wall. But from what I'm getting from like the previews of next week, it's something else, y'all. Remember old dude from last season said, you think I'm something, wait until you see these new. So what the hell's going on with that? Drop that shit below because I'm curious. They got me just, I have no clue. I can't even think of what the shit is. Anywho, so they have that scene. Okay. After that, let's see. Do I want to go that way? No. So, some kind of way, Andy done made up in his mind. No. Jason comes in and says something about the parents left. No, Odu said the parents left, but he still want to look for him. In the midst of that, Jason's like, well, good, let's just let that go because he don't want Sookie's ass to get caught up. And this is before they go to Fairy Trollop Land, okay? So they talking, whoosh, here comes Jessica and all her shit, and she just getting a little fancy with her motherfucking shit. So she glamours Andy, forget about it, hand me the photo, don't even think about it. Just act like you don't even know their name, and Jason's like, you are a good friend to have. Meanwhile, Jason, let me say this to you, honey, you know you ain't trying to be friends with Jessica. You in love with that vampire cooch, honey, please, find you something else to do. And you thought that teacher was gonna snap you out of it, honey, please, I don't think so, Anywho, so they have that scene, and I think they're going to be kind of deterred, but I don't know. Now let's swing on back around to the damn authority who then went through the people's room and this and that and other, and apparently trying to find out who it is. So he walks in and opens up his pouch, and this whole blade or whatever that's supposed to be from the tree that Judas was hung on, and then the metal, the 30 pieces and whatever, you know, and the whole bit. And he walks around and everybody's like, you know, what's going on? And old dude's like, we got other pressing matters. He don't want to stop. And that made me look at him, which he is a little shady when I think about it. Yeah, he is. Anywho, so he's walking around. Some of the little police vampires come in and bring this little thing in this paper. They stop at the little boy, and apparently he was killing humans and doing something. And so old dude had to give him the true death, honey. And blood just went everywhere. Y'all already know when they get the true death, they just melt into blood pudding. I don't know. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that. Okay, so let me see what else happened. So everybody's like, you know, blood splattered on them and this and that and other, you know. But I'm still looking at old dude because he's still like, whoo, I'm glad they didn't look under that motherfucking book that I had back there in the corner up underneath that cup behind that picture. So, you know, like he's hiding something. I don't know, y'all. He's hiding something. I feel like he's hiding something. Okay, now off of that. Now let's slide on back to Miss... No, we ain't gonna slide to Sookie because every time I think about you sitting in that Sookie ass house with Joe, I want to wring your sucker ass neck. I need you to know that. But I'm trying not to clean you. Anywho, so let's go back to Jason, and he's in there, and that one got him, and they just kind of danced around everybody and went off with their shit. And Andy meets up with the one who met him in the woods, and he just screwed and had a romp, but he thought it was a dream. Come to find out it wasn't, and apparently this is where they're taking humans, which ties in that may have some of the blood or whatever, which ties into what happened last season when it first started, and they was there, and why do I want to say elves, and the damn fairies was trying to get them to stay and putting up his facade, and they didn't even know how long they had been there. Sookie's daddy was there, granddaddy, somebody, I don't know. Anywho, so he's on the bed laying, and old girl straddling him, and she's like, you thinking about something else, a vampire. And he's like, you can read my mind, which means you are like Sookie, which makes him think, is this some type of fairy something? In the midst of that, he sees his cousin. She goes on to say so-and-so and talking, and he's like, Sookie so-and-so, and she's like, she's alive. Well, you need to go get her, blah, 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 blah. Y'all just blah, 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 because the conversation was blah, 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 until the bitch said, before the vampires drained her just like they did y'all parents. He's like, what you mean, parents? I thought they done blew away floated away in the damn flood. He's trying to figure out the one fairy that was with him laid up, the fairy tramp. She's like, okay, you said enough, and shoot her off. And then he start acting erratic, and then Andy sees them pushing on him, and so they get pushed out of the tree bark and back into the woods. Like, okay. What the fuck? And then it's like these two fairy guys and they got this little shit they shining on them. Now I think they taking their damn memory. I don't know. Drop that shit below and tell me what y'all think about that shit. Okay, now on to Sookie and her trying to seduce. Oh, I wish I had some hot grease to throw on your ass. The wolf. So the wolf comes in and he's like, well, before he comes in, Lafayette calls her. She's in there singing about pina colada. This bitch done drunk everything under the motherfucking sun. She just in there just la la la. So Lafayette's like, y'all lost my train of thought. Lafayette's like, Sook, what's the deal with the car? Something that went on, blah, 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 blah. He's wanting to tell her about this damn demon that he got something to do with this shit, but she ain't heard it because she drunk. Boom, boom, boom. There's the wolf at the door. She gets out the phone. She's like, I'm going to be all right. He says he's on his way over there. Okay, so she lets the wolf in. The wolf said, well, I told them this and that and other. I just didn't want you in jail, kind of, in a sense. And they deserve the right to know. So it was like a catch-22 for him. And she's like, I'm so grateful. Offers him something to drink. He's like, he want a couple of drinks. Joe, if you don't keep your wolf pee-pee in your pants, I'm going to have to cut you. Don't play with me. Anywho, so they sitting there, you like pina colada, and then she comes back in talking about Tara made this drink, this and that and other. Now, let's switch back to Tara and Pam. And so now we're at the scene where Eric has to release her. So she gets out of her Versace ass coffin, you know, pink and this and that and other, just glistening. She gets out and Eric comes down and Tara's over in some wooden mop, just whatever the fuck they could find. And Eric says, you know, what you said in anger, this and that and other was true. I have to release you. I made you my prodigy. I don't want you to get hurt. And they going to look for Russell, da-da-da. He has to release her. Y'all, it was the saddest shit ever. I mean, it was sadder than when Graham had to leave again. Oh, Lord. She's crying blood and shit. And I'm like, oh, Lord. Somebody give this bitch a tissue and a cup of True Blood, please. So, they have that scene, I'm heartbroken or whatever. In the midst of that, we kind of go back and Tara's still in the bed when she gets up or in the coffin. And before Eric came down, y'all, she's standing over her looking like, oh, you know, like, y'all know they have this tie-in when they make them or whatever. So, she done brought some hooker down there for Tara to feed, and Tara don't want to feed. And she's like, I was human 3 days ago. Blah, 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 this and that and other. So, Tara's like, don't say it, because she's like, I'm going to say it. I command you to. And she told her, and Tara got the biting into her neck, and she's like, don't kill her, take her to the brink of death, you know, just being the ornery ass bitch that pay a bitch. Y'all know she's a dirty bitch. So, Tara finally gets something to drink or whatever. Oh, y'all, that's pretty much the gist of it, what stood out to me. Now, if I left some shit out, y'all already know to put that shit in there. But this particular one was good. It was just like last week. It was good, and it did have an element of kind of heartbreak a little bit to see that Eric had to let her go. Now, am I the only one that wanted him to like be like, well, I let you go, but we can still be together? I don't know. I'm just kind of crushed for Pam, because leading up to this, you can see now you know why she's so dutiful to him and that she loved him from the beginning. You know, so that kind of fucked me up. I'm a little fucked up about it or whatever. Also, let me throw in here, so Bill's back and he's going through his shit and they looking for shit, and Jessica wants to know if he's still king, and he's kind of having these sentimental moments like, oh, I did a good job, this and that and other. You know, he's looking, he finds her weed or whatever. So he's kind of got it on his mind, you know what I'm saying? I am going to get your true death, but he's not telling her. In the midst, they realize we gonna need Sookie on this shit. And Bill's like, yeah, but she don't have no other choice. And Eric's like, she ain't gonna work with us. And Bill's like, well, fuck it, she ain't got no other choice. And I think that was his excuse to go to Sookie, because Jessica was like, something wrong with Sookie, she ain't together, whoop, whoop, whoop. What y'all had was good. Anywho, y'all. So y'all drop that shit below and tell me what y'all think. And whatever y'all want to add in it. If you're not a member of the Cup of Blood group, by all means, please, you know, my glasses was like this. Yeah, they was, scooting down. Anywho, which is ill fucking relevant. If you're not a part of the True Blood group, the Cup of Blood group, I'll leave the link below. By all means, come over and share with us. It's our little secret little society over there, bloodies or whatever. Also, I'm gonna leave a link below for the kitty contact eyes. I'm gonna leave the link below for my bloodies. Y'all, please get y'all true blood bunny. Get the blood bunny. hmm I'm digging the blood bunny. So y'all gonna see Miss Blood Bunny again, because she will be on the scene for the True Blood reviews or whatever. So y'all, I'm out of here. I hope I didn't leave something out that y'all wanted me to talk about or whatever. If I did, I tell y'all all the time, do reviews. I want to hear what y'all have to say or leave comments, whatever. So I'm out of here, y'all. Until next week. Bye.